Hello, welcome to a new video. I'm in the Netherlands, Maasduinen National Park, and I've started this video about 2 hours ago, and I've been walking through a thick layer fog the whole morning. So I haven't seen the sun at all. So if you look behind me right now, it's the first time just a little bit of light is coming through this fog. So I'm quickly going to continue, and hopefully I can catch some extra shots here, but I'm not sure about it. So. I hope you're gonna like today's video. There are some very moody shots in it, some difficult compositions. I'm trying to challenge myself a little bit. So I hope you're gonna enjoy that. If you like the video, don't forget to push the thumbs up button, and let's dive into today's episode. So finally I've managed to find a proper day with some proper mist. So I'm really excited about today. And the whole winter has been rain, no atmospheric conditions at all. Last week we had 2 days with a little bit of sunshine, but nothing spectacular. But today we can find these little moody shots. And I'm actually underneath this beautiful old tree here. And these beautiful roots and algae on it. So I'm gonna walk around this tree and see if I can find a nice shot of it. Everything in the background has disappeared due to this mist. So hopefully this is gonna be my first main shot deck today. So really excited. So I found this beautiful angle, but I have to get on the ground. So it's a bit wet, so I might regret this later on this morning. But there are actually 2 larger branches on the left and the right side of the frame that I've composed exactly that they are hitting the left and the right top of my frame. So I'm just moving around a bit so that the whole scene is balanced. So the trunk is exactly in the middle, and then those branches go all the way up left and right. And it's just this stunning shot. I'm leaving as much of the foreground out of the frame as possible, and I think this is a really nice image. Ooh, that's a nice shot. So there's a beautiful tree in the background here. Let me show you on this camera what I'm talking about. So you can see this tree, the background is completely faded away due to the fog. And because of this layering in the bottom here, let's see over here, there are just a couple of different species of plants in the bottom, which actually just make it look like there are a couple of layers in the foreground. So I'm going to try to shoot it a bit like this, putting the tree off center on the right side, leaving a little bit of space on the left top. And then making advantage of those layers in the foreground. I think that it's a pretty nice shot. It's actually a pretty simple shot to take, but let's see if we can find some more after this. But I've set the goal to myself that I want to take more wide angle shots. So I use a lot of times I used this zoom lens. A couple of weeks ago I was very happy with the zoom lens. I just shot maybe 200 shots with the 100 to 400 on that day. And I'll put a link up to that video up here. There's some epic shots in that video if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, today totally different circumstances, and in these conditions it's just would be really nice if I can find some moody wide angle shots. Oh yes, there are definitely some nice wide angle compositions here. So there are some beautiful weeds here in the foreground that I can use, with this beautiful tree in the background with a nice reflection, and it's actually covered in ice. So yeah, really happy with this. So I'm gonna switch lenses. I think the 12 to 40 will suit this area fine. Now we'll see if we can find proper composition for this little lake here. So you can see all those grasses here in the foreground, and I'm just trying to find a composition, I think portrait orientated, with those grasses in the foreground pointing up to this tree in the background, and there's a beautiful reflection on the ice there. So yeah, it might be a really nice shot. I'm just gonna play around here with all those grasses and see which one suits this composition best. So it proves to be quite a difficult little lake to photograph, but if you actually, what I want to show you is what the angle does when you move up or down a little bit. So let me show you through this camera. You see, at first I thought I'm gonna go down here and make use of these grasses here in the foreground, but then I lose this little piece of water here, and this part and this island gets connected. So I will have to move up like this, and now you can see that this island is opening up there. So I'm actually looking for a composition a bit like this, with those grasses leading your eye to that tree, this island pointing to that tree. So I'm gonna put this tree a bit on this side, making use of this space here, grasses in the foreground. I think something like this is gonna be my composition. But it's pretty hard to to position the camera on exactly the right spot. So well, that was quite a shame. There's a little pool behind me here, and there's a tree a bit over there, and there was this beautiful reflection of it in the water when I walked a little bit to that side, and there were two ducks sitting in that water, and I just had to walk a little bit to that side to get the right frame, and at the moment I thought this is the right position, these ducks flew off. So that's really a shame, because they were beautifully in that reflection of this tree over there. So you can't have them all, unfortunately. But still, I took the shot. So if that one worked out without the ducks, then I'll show it to you right now. So I found a pretty good wide angle shot over here, because there are two trees here in the foreground, and then there's a little bit of a hill with two trees on them, and in the background you can still see some silhouettes of some other trees, and I'm just trying to position it just the right way. It's a bit of a silhouette image because the foreground is a bit dark, and of course because of this fog, the top half is very bright. But yeah, I'm just using these trees, these big trees, as frame fillers in the foreground, and then these layers in the background. So there's a lot of space on top of the image and just a little bit on the bottom. So I think it's a really good image. So do you know this feeling that when you develop as a photographer, that somehow you get more and more picky about your images? I think I walked past maybe a dozen compositions here that when I look back a year from now, I think I would have shot all of them, and I would be pretty happy with those shots. But now I'm a year later and I'm thinking, nah, that's too easy. That's too easy. Somehow I'm just looking for those more difficult compositions. So if you're talking about moody shots, I've just found one over here. There's a group of trees here, I think over here. There are maybe 10, 15 standing in a little circle, and that caught my attention. And in the background there's a tree fading away. So I've seen this bush before on other trips, but never with the background faded away because of this mist. And it's completely at the back of this nature reserve, so most of the times when I get here, most of the fog is gone, but this fog isn't going anywhere soon. So I don't think there's any sunlight coming through it soon also. But I just love these misty, moody mornings. So I just crossed another photographer and she said, oh, it's far too misty today. And I'm just thinking, oh, mist, fog, yeah. So every photographer has his own fetish, I think. And I'll take a morning like this above a clear blue sky on any day. So I just love this serenity, just amazing. So I found another nice composition over here, and I just want to show you what a little bit of difference it makes when you try to walk around a scene for a little bit. So let me try to show you this. So right now you can see this is going to be my main subject, this tree on the left side here. And there are a couple of trees disappearing into the background, but especially this little bush here is in front of that tree behind it. So what I'm going to try to do is when I walk around it, I'm going as far to this side. You can see at this point I'm getting some separation between this bush and that tree. And if I move a little bit further and just zoom in a little bit, you can see that you can balance this shot out pretty nicely. So there's a pretty good balance in this shot right now with a big tree and then trees getting smaller to the right side. And I think it will be a 16 by 9, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I just like this shot. It's a nice composition and I'm keeping this in mind. Maybe I can take a better shot of this sometime when there is some sunlight going through this fog. It does need fog because I know there's a large forest in the background there that's faded away now. But it's something to keep in mind, especially these mornings are very good to search for compositions, and you just need, you know which conditions you need to get this shot. So I'm very happy with this one, and I also found another one of this group of trees here. I just got a little bit closer and made a bit of advantage of this heather in the foreground, and yeah, I just really hope these shots worked out. I was thinking to myself what I told you earlier about that my photography has changed, and I was thinking, what has changed? What am I searching for right now that I didn't look for last year? Of course, last year I looked for it, but I think last year I would have shot every single tree. So if you get a lonely tree, a lone tree, a lonely tree. These are not lonely; they're all friends around here. So, but the lone trees, I would have shot every one of them, single standing trees. And if I walk past here today, I'm thinking, oh, that's too easy, and I'm just looking for groups of trees to create layers, one that's in the foreground, one that's in the background, to get them more depth into these images. So I think that's what changed. I just like to find these more complicated scenes now with multiple images that I have to, yeah, how do you say that? I don't know the right word, but yeah, to balance the shot. That's it, to balance the shot. So I had to think about that. Somewhere from deep inside of here it got to the front. But yeah, I'm just searching for these shots to balance things out, and yeah, especially to create depth of field in a balanced shot. I think that's what I'm looking for right now. So I hope you liked today's moody morning photography trip. Yeah, the sun hasn't come through. There is some sunlight coming through the fog at the moment, but yeah, I think when it gets through, it's going to be far too hard to make some nice images at the moment. There's a pigeon just landing on top of that dead tree over there. Would be a nice shot. Well, I'll have a look at it. If it's still there when I'm leaving this couch here, this bench, then then I'll show the picture after this. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next week's video. So if you like the video, then don't forget to push the thumbs up button, and there's a subscribe button underneath this video, and there's also a little notification bell. If you push subscribe and the notification bell, you will get a little box, and if you select all, you will get a message when I release my next video. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope to see you next week, and yeah, let's hope for a little bit more light in that video. So bye bye.